Okay, sorry, we got a question over here. How do you feel about Joe's statement on this matter? Whose statement? Joe. Who's Joe? Joe! Camel moment!
Oh, every time the world looks scary, it's you Zoomers, it's your kids that make me feel like things are gonna be alright. Let's quickly turn to Michael Tracey. Okay, if everyone didn't know... Oh, I'm pretty loud, right? Or I should turn this down. Oh, it's the middle one. Alright, if everybody didn't know, this is a little bit silly, but it's good. Michael Tracey visits Connecticut College ostensibly to do journalism about their COVID rules, but decides to give a speech to the students while standing in front of a highway holding a briefcase with an antenna on it for some reason. So I saw this video yesterday pop up and I was like, okay, well this is kind of funny. I'm just going to play it because it's Michael Tracey, right?
What I was about to say is, the main reason, just to reiterate, the main reason I'm here is not because I have any particular interest in what goes on in a small liberal.
Well, yeah, if you didn't know the Michael Tracey lore, Maxine Waters did that thing where she basically was like, you know, please get out of my way. And it was basically like a little shove like this, and then he was basically like, yeah, she assaulted me.
Large college in Connecticut that I've never been to. It's because I've gotten so many, dozens of messages, phone calls, texts from people who have strong criticisms of the policy that you're all now subject to, but say unanimously that they cannot voice them in public because if they do, they will be subject to disciplinary action. They will be subject to...
Like, if I was a student and I recognized him, I would have been like, this is one of the greatest days of my life. This is unbelievable. Michael Tracey has shown up here disheveled, you know, half of his shirt tucked into his pants, with his own megaphone, a microphone, and a portable microphone, like, briefcase, and he's giving some speech about Lord knows what, and I'm just here for every part of it.
Social repercussions. They will face problems with their athletic programs, and on and on and on. So if you're not aware of that sentiment existing on the campus around you, maybe you ought to be a little bit more aware, because I don't think it's good for anyone, whether you support the policies or oppose them, if there's this climate of conformity where if you transgress, then you're subject to, you know, disciplinary action and possibly expulsion.
Why? As a journalist?
Because they cannot speak on their own behalf. I think, hold on, no, I'll define for myself, thank you, what my job as a journalist is.
Is this for a Fox News?
I don't think you're...
He wants a Fox News.
He wants a piece on the New York Post.
He's not gonna get it.
I go on. I was on a left-wing podcast.
He is Tucker Carlson.
I was on a left-wing show.
I'm famous. I was on a podcast.
I do everybody will have.
To gather attention from you.
I've talked to you for about an hour. How about that? Are you a right-wing stooge?
No, please.
Yes.
Leave this campus. Get off. Please. We do not want to.
One word. Okay. One word on here is. Can I use 3 words?
No.
Three too many, but come on.
Giving voice to the voiceless. That's 4.
It's way more than 3 days.
Really? I mean, have you ever stopped to consider if it's a fruitful intellectual environment for so many of your classmates to just be...
From a different angle.
So,
can I make a point?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I mic?
Okay, sorry, we got a question over here. How do you feel about Joe's statement on this matter? Whose statement? Joe. Who's Joe? Joe! Camel moment!
Oh, every time the world looks scary, it's you Zoomers, it's your kids that make me feel like things are gonna be alright. A disheveled Michael Tracey was captured bumbling around the edge of a road, shouting at some college kids through a microphone attached to an amplifier that he's carrying. And that was my favorite part. Yes, that was my favorite part as well with Vic Berger. Just a reminder that Glenn Greenwald never leaves his mansions in Brazil to report that American right-wing propaganda. So Glenn went to his defense. Michael Tracey again did something his left liberal critics won't. Got his ass off the couch to go to an actual reporting on a consequential societal and political conflict. And now they're all holding hands to mock him as the outcast nerd in an attempt to feel tribally protected. Good job, Glenn. Thank you. And then it gets a little worse. Michael, the guy you befriended yesterday DM'd me. He tested positive for COVID this morning and keeps trying to call you to tell you he tested for it since you were a close contact, but you just keep begging for his video. This isn't a joke, Michael Tracey. You should really get tested. Fucking asshole, Lamau. As you said, guy. He's just texting me asking me for the video even though I told him he was exposed to COVID. Do you have a link to the stream or was it saved anywhere? He's like, hey, by the way, Michael, I think I just tested positive for COVID and we were hanging out a lot, you know, sharing the spit and stuff. So what do you think about any of this? And she's like, oh, do you have a link to the stream? I'd like to post it on my Substack, please. Is that going to go down? The whole reason Tracey went to Connecticut College in the first place was because they have a COVID outbreak and Michael's mad that they're doing something about it. Mr. Tracey, please pick up. This is blank. I know you think it's a prank or a joke, but I legitimately did just test positive. The school will most likely be contacting you in regards to proper protocols to take. I would isolate and continue to wear a mask. I would also avoid travel. Best regards. I called it Michael because he gave his number and he hung up on me. Man, Glenn Greenwald has a lot of enemies in Brazil. Okay. And then finally, we have, of course, the phone call with additional information.
That blocked it.
Another one actually blocked it briefly for a couple hours, I think, recently.
Mm.
Let's see. It's back up. Oh, there we go. Is that it? Yep. You are calling from a 404 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Sam. This is Terrell, and I'm calling from New London, Connecticut.
It's Terrell? Is that
College.
it? Terrell, New London, Connecticut? Connecticut College. Well, go Camels, as we would say.
Go Camels.
Back in the day. I don't know why they're camels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, actually, thank you for sending this to me. I found this a long time ago, and I haven't shown it on stream. Glenn Greenwald got into a fight live on Brazilian TV. I forgot about that. Comes in with a fucking haymaker at the end.
We were joking before the show. I guess that's you guys aren't allowed to drink water. Just pass out on the field.
I take pride in it. I saw a belt with camels on it at the bookshop, and I gladly bought them. So
Well,
I think the camels, I think that's great.
Now, Terrell, what we're trying to do here by having you on is to give voice to the voiceless. Now I have a microphone. I don't have an amplifier, but because I have a microphone, I am necessarily involved in reporting.
Right.
Even though I don't have the amplifier. Terrell, what's going on that campus? How onerous and completely irrational is it that you have been unable to, and I assume that they force you to saran wrap yourself even to make this call. I'm surprised they're allowing you to call outside of the campus.
Well, they just removed the duct tape from his mouth for this call.
You tell us the story of what went on there.
Is that a mask?
So the story just got updated this morning, and I think you'll be very interested to hear the update. But so Tracey, he came to the campus and he walked through the bridge from the athletic center because they shut down the campus because, they didn't want him to come. But he found his way, and me and my friends were the first people to spot him walking on the bridge. So we ran towards him, and he had a microphone.
Wait a second. I don't understand this. My understanding is the campus has been shut down. How are you allowed to walk around?
Yeah, it's not shut down completely. Students and stuff can still go outside and walk out and stuff.
But they're not having people from the outside come in because there's so many COVID infections on the campus. Is that it?
That's correct. And
that seems like a horribly irresponsible thing to do. Wouldn't you want to invite everybody from New London in to give them COVID?
So Sam, I have COVID right now.
Oh.
I just tested positive this morning.
Oy.
And Michael Tracey was outside maskless. So I called him this morning because I was able to get his number, and I said, Michael, we met each other yesterday. I just tested positive for COVID. I'm asymptomatic. I feel great. So I found it funny. I'm like, I just tested positive for COVID, Michael. And his voice totally changed. He sounded concerned, like COVID was like an actual, something to worry about. So he hung up immediately. And I texted him, and I said, "This is not a prank.
I was not here.
I'll send
you don't
my
know
positive
me,
test."
okay?
And he called me back, with a tone totally different than I'd ever heard him before. And he was like, "Oh, okay. So the school's gonna contact me." And then he asked, "Did I have a video of yesterday?" And after that phone call, about 30 minutes later, he asked me again. And it's like, dude, you're not even asking if I'm okay, or you're not like quarantining or anything. You care about this video where you embarrassed yourself yesterday. So.
All right. So he comes on, he walks across the bridge. So just so people know, what is it? Is that Route 32 or is that a Mohegan Ave? What is that road there? It's bridge?
Mohegan Avenue.
Mohegan Ave. Okay. So, so for people who don't know, Connecticut College is on the sort of set back from the River Thames, and down closer to the river is the athletic center, and you got to walk across a footbridge. And so he got into the campus via footbridge, but it's not that they're just keeping Michael Tracey out. They're keeping out everybody because COVID is spreading on the campus. Is that it?
Correct. Yes.
And do you have any idea what the numbers are on the campus? And and then, what are the numbers? Do you know?
As far as I know, there's over 150 positive COVID tests. And the college.
That's 10% of the college campus, right? I mean, isn't it like 1,700 kids, students?
Wow.
I think it's close to like 6 or 7%. I don't have the exact numbers, but the college said in an email last week, they said as soon as the cases gradually go down, then we'll lift restrictions. And just today, the college sent out an email, and they've lifted some restrictions now, and we're going back to class. So Tracey came to the school and freaked out for no reason, because even though the college said here are the protocols we're going to take, and as long as the caseloads go down, then we'll lift restrictions, and that's exactly what they did. So he kind of came here for no reason.
Are you suggesting that the college didn't buckle because he was out there with a karaoke machine intimidating the college?
It totally was a karaoke machine.
If you were one of his Twitter fans, then he'd probably have that notion. But no, the college was planning on.
Are you aware of what he was talking about when he said that if anybody speaks out against these restrictions, that they would suffer some type of either disciplinary action or social?
That wouldn't have happened. And in fact, after he came and made a fool of himself, even the conservatives who I talked to yesterday, they admitted, they were because he kept on referencing how this was similar to the 9/11 surveillance state, and everyone just looked around confused and what are you talking about? So I talked to the conservatives afterwards, and we actually ended up having a really good discussion. And they ended up agreeing with me, and they were like, yeah, I don't know what he was saying about 9/11. That was really weird. He lost me at that point.
Well, all right. So credit where credit's due. He brought people together.
I think in the ways that he, in the most Michael Tracey way possible, yes. He brought people together.
All right. Well, look,
sort of repelled people together.
But wait a second. Honestly, what was he talking about? What do you think there were? Have you met anybody of these dozens of people who emailed him or called him or told him that they were upset about that they felt like they were going to get in trouble? Did did J Board, do they still have an honor code? Is the J Board still sort of do all the disciplinary actions?
Yeah, the honor board. Yeah, we just did elections today to vote for the honor council. I mean, and I told the conservative, we were talking, and I was like, we could have had this dialogue, without, Michael Tracey coming here and embarrassing himself. And they agreed. And I mean, punishments are adjudicated by the honor council. So
there's you haven't heard any story of anybody being disciplined for criticizing the lockdown. I don't know if there was like some social what did he call it? Social repercussions? Were there any social repercussions? Like, it's not like you're going to get disinvited to a party. You guys aren't having parties right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no, it's not like we're all going to bully you if you disagree. In fact, a lot of students, and I saw this incident, a lot of students did disagree with some of what the college was doing, but they said, well, Michael Tracey coming here and doing whatever he was doing just didn't help anyone's case. So, and they weren't going to be, no one was going to be punished for speaking their mind.
Well, that's good to hear. That would be rather distressing if somebody got punished for saying they didn't like the COVID restrictions. That would be wrong.
It would be like the 9/11 Patriot Act.
Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks, why do older generations believe the things they believe? One of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Tigro and Payton El Jus, we pray to you, our sky daddies, to keep us safe from harm. To our monarchs, Tom Spiker and the Tim Caucus, we shall humbly clean your golden toilets in your spatial palaces. To our lords, Ultra Wolf, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, and Jeff Lamb, we are eternally grateful for this small segment of land for us to toil and work. To our knights, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Ants Are Still Running the World, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Chronic to Hemphog, Catherine, Bone Jenny, Radical Maniac, Ramona Costa, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Jopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glasses, we raise our swords, and we salute you, our friends. And to Lance, you are the wind beneath my wings.